Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a UAP, UFO, or a PSYOP? Well, no, it's just a fake AI video, but it still looks pretty cool. Hold on a minute there. What in the world is really going on here? As it definitely does seem that there's a concerted government effort to make us believe in aliens, which makes me personally not want to believe in aliens, as this is an issue that I've been talking about for an extremely long time, as we have our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, coming out and talking about these UAPs, unidentified flying phenomenons, that are going after restricted nuclear facilities in the United States. Now, obviously, if you've been watching our channel, that's nothing new. We've been actually talking about this for quite a long time, as it looks like we are in the age of disclosure, as that is the name of a new movie coming out on November 21st that correlates what we've been talking about for a very long time. As, of course, earlier this year, the governor of Louisiana came out and said, there's a governor's meeting, and there were drones flying over nuclear power plants. All of this when there was also a lot of weird kind of activities and events. As now we have a kind of full picture and perspective of what's really going on here, as it looks like we are closer than ever to actually getting some answers here. As some other people are saying, well, it's not just answers we're getting here. It's probably some type of larger psychological operation and advanced U.S. military tech, as Joe Rogan had some very interesting comments surrounding this when he was talking to someone who is a part of a new technologically advanced military industrial complex. Tim Burchett also came out and said that the, quote, war pimps at the Pentagon would be out of business if we find out what we find out. Why is that? Well, we're going to get into that and a lot more all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these type of interesting conversations, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you give to us here on this YouTube channel. Now, again, time after time, again, lots of videos are coming out, and it's becoming more and more difficult to dispel what is actually legitimate, what is not legitimate. There's also reports coming out of Europe that a lot of these drones that are now over Europe, just like they were over the United States last year in New Jersey and other places around the north and east coast of the United States, that a lot of them are shutting down surveillance systems. Yes, you heard that correctly. A lot of them are moving in and out of water at speeds, as Tim Burchett even described, that are exemplifying technology that we do not possess, know about, or could even explain scientifically. Is that the truth here? Or is this just some advanced military tech? What in the world is really going on here? As, of course, the United States government officially admitted that they shot at one of these type of weird orbs, one of these UAPs, with a Tomahawk missile, and the Tomahawk missile just bounced right off of them. Ain't that interesting? Why are we shooting Tomahawk missiles at potentially aliens that are far more intellectual and smart and possess technology that's way more advanced than us? That's the real question. As now we have the latest. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, and also the guy has many roles at the White House. He came out that UFOs have been flying over restricted nuclear facilities in a trailer for a new shock documentary. Now, he confirms this, but again, this is nothing new. We've been talking about this for a while. Even a few weeks ago, we were telling you, these drones, just like they were in the United States, flying over restricted airspace, flying at longer times than consumer drones. The White House lied to us about this. Let's just be real with ourselves. When this was happening last year, Trump won the election. The drone phenomenon kind of happened. My opinion was this is kind of the intel agencies flexing their might, showing how powerful they are. I actually was telling this theory to Charlie Kirk on the stage of the TPSA conference. He was like, yeah, that actually makes actual kind of sense here, that this is advanced military tech, and this is the kind of secret shadow, powerful government saying, we're in charge here, not you. Donald Trump was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to get to this New Jersey drone scandal. We're going to tell everyone what happened. And then the FAA was like, we don't know what's going on. Trump came into office and Caroline Leavitt was like, oh, yeah, they were just FAA drones. The FAA was denying that they even knew what was going on. So why would you say that they're FAA drones when they weren't? That makes no sense at all. Now, they do exhibit lights. There's also reports of them transforming. There's also reports of them anytime that there are any type of interception or anti-drone defense type of measures being implemented, that they just evade it all the time. It's also been thought that these are Russian drones, right? Because when you see these drones, there was these phenomenons reported in Europe, in the United States, and in Japan, all countries that Russia is at odds with, geopolitically one way or another. Now, Marco Rubio coming out in this new type of documentary that's going to drop soon, saying, there's repeated instances of something operating in the airspace of restricted nuclear facilities, and, quote, it's not ours. That's his direct quote. I'm going to be playing the trailer here because the trailer is very fascinating, as my official response to this is, yeah, but what about the Epstein files? I'm being facetious, Robert Barnes here. The UFOs stole them. Brett Russell. Aliens stole them. Probably. Listen, with the way that things go, who in the world knows? What if Epstein was an alien? Again, we'll play the hypothetical game in a little bit. I wanted to play a little bit of this trailer and then kind of break it down point by point, because there's a lot to break down, especially with Tucker Carlson, Tim Burchett's comment, Joe Rogan's comments that are also very important to get into. And we have a lot to play to pontificate and quantify and to really try to understand as best as we can. As of course, I have my understanding. I'll tell you what it is at the end of this video. The age of disclosure could change the world. Priority. So this movie already, I think, premiered in Austin, but it hasn't been publicly released yet.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
These are...
Yep, and again, that's the quote. That's usually when you do trailers, you do the biggest bombshells. Again, it's not a big bombshell if you've been paying attention to the news and you've been paying attention to this story like I have. There was a meeting of the governors, the first ever governor meeting between Donald Trump and all the governors, most of the governors of the United States. It was at the White House. And I remember during this meeting, the governor of Louisiana was like, hey, excuse me, there's drones. We don't know what they are. They're flying over our nuclear facilities. And then the other governor was like, oh, yeah, we have similar instances. And then it's like, what is that? And it's like, shut up. Let's talk about women's sports. I mean, come on. All right. Now, before playing the rest of this trailer, because I think allegedly Joe Rogan saw this movie already, and he had some very interesting comments to say about this. So before getting into all that and a lot more, we wanted to just quickly tell you about WeAreChange.shop. Our best #1 selling product is our cleanest, best form of creatine from Germany. Listen, other people who sell creatine, if they can't tell you it's from Germany, there's a big chance that it's from some other source, okay? There's other sources from Israel. There's other sources from China. I don't trust any of those sources. Some of those sources have been found to be contaminated, heavy metals, and lots of impurities in there, and it's not 99.99% pure. We have a 2-month supply for $53, a good, reasonable price for your creatine, and it is awesome. It is great. Rave reviews. If you haven't looked into creatine, now's the time to do it. As, of course, we have a lot of people talking about how a large dose of creatine can reverse the, quote, decline of cognitive performance and even improve it after 21 hours of sleep deprivation. Yes, you heard that correctly. We have Dan Fitgo saying, 4 supplements I'm getting my aging parents to take. Creatine, omega-3s, yep, magnesium glycinate, and he says vitamin D3. So magnesium glycinate we have available in our store. WeAreChange.shop. Omega-3s, creatine, all available on WeAreChange.shop. I think I'm going to create a bundle here soon, just like this. We have another post here. Creatine needs to be added to, quote, tap water instead of chlorine and fluoride. Yeah, fluoride is already getting rid of, fluoride is already getting taken out of the water supply. Thank goodness in most states now. Quote, this is what the tea guy Stoic says. It's the single best supplement I ever tried. I've been taking it 7 to 12 grams a day for around 2 months, and here are all the benefits I noticed. Killer pumps at the gym, more vascularity. More strength, increased energy, 2 times faster beard growth, more aggression in a positive way when playing sports, fighting, more confidence, deeper voice, better grip strength. Buy creatine, get in debt if you have to. That's what he says. I'm not saying that. I'm saying do your own homework, do your own research before putting anything into your own body. But I am super proud of my product. I give it to all my friends, all my family members. I'm like, you want some creatine? Get some creatine now. Get that. We already asked for a resupply. It takes a long time to get a resupply. We might be out. So get it now on wearechange.shop while supplies last. Also makes the perfect gift. You're dealing with older ladies, women, lower creatine levels than men. This helps them out a lot. Wearechange.shop. Check it out and support yourself. Support your own individual health journey. Check it all out. Now, let's get back to this trailer, because this trailer is something else here, right? Because we have sitting members of this U.S. government being like, yeah, it's not ours. Drones over nuclear facilities. Huh?
Otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
Otherworldly things. What? Maybe some people are saying that they're interdimensional creatures. Some people are saying that they're a civilization underneath the oceans. Some people say that they exist in different planes of reality than we do.
There's a whole fleet of them.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
Yeah, multiple now individuals coming forward from the U.S. government and the U.S. military being like, there's been a lot of efforts to try to shut me down, shut me up, but I have seen weird, crazy stuff. And the first thing I'm thinking about is William Cooper from Behold the Pale Horse. Look into that rabbit hole if you're ready for a deep one. And he mentioned in just the beginning sections of his books, huge alien craft, football field craft, moving in and out of water at incredible speed, similar things that Tim Burchett is also describing. And he was a part of the U.S. Navy.
With my own eyes, non-human craft and non-human beings.
This is so secret. There have been very few people in our entire government that have been allowed or provided access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to...
Presidents need to know basis. That means the president is even told what's going on here. Now, listen, I'm the president. I'm like, I want to know what's going on here. J.D. Vance even came out and was like, this is my own personal mission. I need to find out what's going on here. And then he had said nothing afterwards. What's going on here, J.D.? J.D., can you tell us?
ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
Yeah, we're paying for the government. We're paying for it. It's my money. And then they're just destroying the purchasing power of the dollar by printing more money. And I'm like, come on. Really? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me that the government uses our money and then doesn't tell us what's really going on in this world, and we deserve to know?
People have been hurt protecting and hiding this information.
Some people claim it would cost them their lives if they spoke out about these things.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
Yeah, why are you locking away that information? A lot of people say it's related to free energy, by the way. Propulsion-like technology that is reverse engineered, but if released to the general public, it would destroy the oil industry, and therefore it cannot be released because then it would destroy the U.S. economy, but people would have free energy and live in perpetuity in a way that we didn't have to be debt slaves. Ah! Ah!
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
Yes, and now release it. Tell the general public what's going on here. Release it. Redeem it. Come on. I think if we were very close to discovery, it's now. Right? It's now. Donald Trump showing he doesn't give a damn. But Donald Trump now is officially a part of the kind of cover-up efforts here, because even if the U.S. government doesn't know, I think they're looking at it like, yeah, we can't tell people. People are going to panic. I'm like, there's already a lot of people, all right, and I'm one of them, that like, I got a lot of things going on. I don't care. Whatever. Nah. Right? You look at the alien stuff, there's a famous meme going around now being like, yeah, but I got all this other stuff happening too. People are like, oh, look, the government says aliens exist. People are like, yeah, whatever. Listen, with the way that things are going, with how fast the news cycle is, and just how manipulative all this type of like emotionally draining and dopamine inducing type of fried brains that all of us had, it would be a topic of discussion for a week, and then it would be something else. So the whole national security, oh, no, we can't tell anybody national security is going to be, no, I don't think people are going to care. I think there's something deeper. I think there's something else going on here. Potentially, I mean, the Germans in the 1930s had flying saucers. I think there's something else really going on here. That isn't UFOs, UAPs. I think it is a probability that it is kind of something else. Now, again, we could hypothesize. What we do know, Marco Rubio didn't create a bombshell. He's just reporting on what the governor of Louisiana said earlier this year. This is January 10th, all right? So we already know that. Now, there's also a lot of people talking about how during live nuclear weapons drills, and this is reported by the Russians too, and this is reported by the Americans, there are things that halt these exercises, that halt the kind of use of nuclear weapons, as there's now multiple service members coming forward and saying, yeah, right when we're messing around with nukes, and this is why maybe they're outside of nuclear facilities where nukes are produced, maybe these aliens are trying to prevent, and this is the kind of theory, aliens are out there to try to prevent the world from being blown up, because they're a part of this earth and they live underneath the earth, or in the waters deep down underneath it. Now, Joe Rogan and Palmer Luckey discussed this movie, and I thought their discussion about it was pretty interesting.
Did you see The Age of Disclosure? Did you see the documentary?
Age of Disclosure? No, I haven't seen that.
It's a new one, and it has a hypothesis. It has a theory of why there hasn't been disclosure, and a lot.
Now, the hypothesis could be anything.
A lot of it has to do with the legal implications, because too many people have been misappropriating funds. If this is real,
sure.
So if this is real,
like if there's recovered alien crash objects, if those have been parceled out to private companies,
exactly. That's exactly the dilemma. So
yeah, and this is what they're saying about like free energy propulsion, like technology that they don't want released because it would destroy the oil energy. The oil energy being destroyed would destroy many world markets, but it would allow us to kind of live a totally more efficient, more incredible way of life, in my opinion, and it's totally worth it to do it.
Say if, let's say, just to make up a name, Lockheed Martin gets it,
sure,
and they have this back-engineered craft that they're working on, but then Raytheon doesn't get it. Raytheon should be able to sue the government, like, why'd you do that? Is an unfair competitive advantage. Also, the people that are in charge of the projects, there's all this money that they have to lie to Congress about. Mm-hmm. And so in this documentary, one of the things that they're proposing, guys like Lou Elizondo, and like, what is the path to sanity with all this stuff? One of the things that they're proposing is amnesty. Just give like blanket amnesty. Tell us what the fuck you know. Let's go.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a big fan of big government and them wasting our money and then lying to us, but like, and lying at least, come out in this kind of open, transparent way and start to tell us what in the world is going on here. And this kind of hints at what Tim Burchett was talking about with Tucker Carlson recently, as he was laying down a very similar type of theory out there, talking about how these UFOs would put the war pimps out of the Pentagon business. And as he says, it's always about oil, too.
You know, why would the U.S. government have an interest in lying about something that's visible to millions of people around the world? So many people, as you just said, have had the experience of seeing them in person. Why would they have an interest in hurting those people, calling them crazy, threatening them, et cetera? So tell us about your experience as you've pushed for more disclosure. What kind of reaction have you received?
I think the arrogance from the federal government, there's a control thing that you see in every aspect of government. Everybody in power wants to keep you out of their little circle of power.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and if you have, listen, propulsion, like advanced tech, you want to keep it for yourself, right? Because then you don't have to release it to the world. Now imagine you have propulsion-free energy like technology that has been reverse engineered or even just created individually through scientific breakthroughs. Those greedy people that are stopping actual human progress and progression and evolution and help are big-time a-holes. All right, stop it. Whatever, give them amnesty. I don't care. Give it to them. But I think that's what we're dealing with here.
And I think the monetary concern is there. If
the monetary concern potentially with oil, potentially with the military-industrial complex, which I think if it could be destroyed by free energy, pre-propulsion like technology, good. Let's get rid of that, all that stuff.
Could you imagine if they had something that could heat homes in the summer, in the winter, and cool them in the summer, and had zero cost? I mean, it's something that it would put everybody out of business. The war pimps at the Pentagon would have to go out of business. We wouldn't have to be in wars all over the world, which are
for energy resources, just like we are getting very close to Venezuela with.
If you get down to it, it's about oil. It's always about oil. And so you've got the greed factor, you got the power factor, and then you got just the arrogance. The Bible talks about professing themselves to be wise that became fools.
That's right.
And there's nobody in Washington that doesn't think they're wise.
I wonder, though, I mean, for sure. So you think this is an effort to hide the existence of superior technology because it's a threat to existing industry?
I think that's a big possibility, and I think they hit the nail on the head here.
I think that's part of it, and also, but it's like this: we're motorcycle guys. Say if I took a brand new Indian or Harley Davidson down to back in time to the Mayflower or whatever,
exactly,
and gave it to them, they would maybe shine it. They wouldn't know how to do anything. I mean, of course, they didn't have we don't have carburetors. They wouldn't know how to do anything with fuel injection. They probably couldn't ever make the fuel high enough octane where it'd kick it off. They maybe could get it started if they got lucky at some point.
Right.
But that would be a rarity.
Yeah. Now, do we have some of that investment? Was it given to us by outside external entities, or did we just create it through scientific breakthrough and are keeping it for ourselves? Now, there's another also interesting kind of conversation between Anduril, the CEO of this new advanced kind of military tech that he kind of debuted. And this is what he had to say about the United States government shooting Hellfire missiles.
It's very hard to make something that makes a radar and a camera see something that isn't there in a way that perfectly aligns with what is there. Now, you saw the recent one with the Hellfire that was fired, and it appears to have broken up, but then kept moving.
Yeah.
That's interesting because now you have something that's on a camera, and you sent another thing with a seeker, and it got there, and it blew up.
Is that definite, real footage?
I mean, I believe
it's been verified.
I am probably not in a position where I should say if I know if it's been verified, but I'll tell you this. I believe the footage is real. It's very
hard. Listen, whoever the guy is at the military being like, shoot it down. Why are we trying to start a war with this? Huh? Can we stop? Share this video if you think we should stop. I think that person needs a lot of creatine because their brains are just not working right. He could get it. We are Change Our Shop. Anyway, cheap plug, cheesy plug. What do you think is really going on here? Is this engineered tech that is being kept away to limit human progress so industries could continue to profit off of the old existing industries? Or is this alien tech that was given to us? Or was this alien tech we discovered that was engineered? 1, 2, or 3? Let me know down in the comment section below. I appreciate everyone's time and attention. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching, subscribing, sharing this video. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.